2 years ago, Atlas committed to 2 years? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, 2020.
We committed to a Dallas office. And then all of a sudden, COVID happened. And what happened after that and how it has progressed has been a story in and of itself. On this episode, I talked to Kurt Chase, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that is running our Dallas office, the only guy I think that could run our Dallas office right now, and is making it a success. We're going to talk everything about the Dallas office and how it has changed, fundamentally changed Atlas in a lot of good ways, and made us kind of grow up in some ways and learn about ourselves. Atlas All Access starts now. Kurt, welcome back.
What's up, buddy?
I am so happy you're back in Omaha. Your flights just got canceled, right? I mean, why are you here?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with me. I needed a little injection from the original Atlas and kind of get myself back centered. Everything that we've been doing in Dallas has just been at breakneck speed, and in the environment, and everybody's new. It was just good to get back for my well-being.
Awesome. So we will get into this a little bit, but I want to know. I want everyone else to know like who you are and where you've come from in staffing. So give me a brief overview of Kurt Chase in the healthcare staffing world.
Yeah. So back in, I think it was 2005, 2004. You know, I just quit a job. I was tired of corporate industry, and really, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I took a break. I was working at a buy here, pay here, which was awesome, and that should be a reality show in itself.
I knew that. That is awesome.
That was awesome. But one of my buddies kind of got into the industry and introduced me. And then, you know, him knowing me and the journeys that we have shared, he thought I would be good at it. So you fast forward that, I don't know, what is it? 16, 17 years, sure. 2 companies, Atlas being the third company. Here we are. So my journey has always been on the recruiter side. Mm-hmm. From day one, I've been a recruiter. Recruiting allows me to interact with a bunch of different people, good and bad, but it's always interesting. So I always enjoyed it. I'm addicted to it.
That came up last week. Like, there's no place else I'd want to be right now, quite honestly. Right. It's just, and I love not only do I love the people, but I love the industry and the intricacies of what we do every single day is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And I think without that, what are you doing here?
Well, the underlying piece that I didn't know that was going to occur was you have the ability to help someone in their life, right? The overall vibe in what we do, we support the nurse that's obviously saving lives, but then we can support the people that are doing the support, which, I mean, I didn't know that was going to be what it is, but it's certainly one of those things that attracts me.
Face value, when I first heard about the industry, I didn't realize that either. Like there was a piece of that I didn't think that far ahead, quite honestly. It was a sales job, right? I mean, that was really kind of what it was.
Right.
And then it turned into really so much more.
Right. So, absolutely.
All right. So let's fast forward to 2020. So you're in the Omaha office with us for
6 years.
Yep. Right. So you're in the Omaha office with us, and we say, Kurt, here's what's happening, and you're the guy. Why? Why Dallas? Like, why did you say, yes, I want to go do this?
One, I love challenges, right? You know me in that regard. And, not that anybody said that we couldn't do it or it was impossible, but it was the next move. We had made our stamp here. Mm-hmm. We had established ourselves for us to get better, be better, provide more support to those that are doing the support. It was the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, to have a company look at me, trust in me, feel that I was the person. I mean, It was a thing. It was a no-brainer to me. Once it was presented to me, it was a no-brainer.
And I can tell you, at least from a personal standpoint, like I've seen this guy take time out of his day, sit down next to a recruiter, and talk through that last phone call. What went right? What didn't go right? Let's and just give that one-on-one attention to make that recruiter better for that next phone call. And I think from our standpoint, from Steve and I's standpoint, like there was no better guy than you to be that representative for us in Dallas.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of my strengths. I love to see when the light goes on. Right. Mm-hmm. Love that. When you struggle, you don't get it, but you keep trying, and then it comes on.
You get that one.
Oh,
right?
Gosh, it's beautiful.
And it's magical.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. How is Dallas different? And because I feel a difference. I've been down there with you once now, and I can't wait to go back, quite honestly. But how is Dallas different than Omaha, maybe?
Yeah, so I think it's just evolution. If you go through something and you don't learn, then you're failing yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So even though I wasn't here day one, I was close to day one. We learned a lot in the last 6 years here. Good, bad, ugly, right? Mm-hmm. So Dallas is different in the sense that I can kind of cut through. I don't want to say cut corners, but I can kind of cut through all the anxiety and the lessons that you need to learn because I've already learned them.
Right.
So go ahead.
Let me help you. You can curse.
Oh, can I?
Absolutely. The bullshit.
Yes. Thank you.
Because I see that's what you want to say.
I was about to explode.
So true.
Yes.
It's so true.
Yes.
Right?
Right. So to cut the bullshit out, and I can anticipate moves opposed to having to react all the time.
Right.
It has allowed us, I believe, for Dallas to start off in a more efficient way. Mm-hmm. Now, if Atlas wasn't in Omaha and we didn't have this to build off of, then we would struggle.
Totally different.
More.
Right.
So
totally different. I think my takeaway from being down with you in Dallas and then understanding the type of recruiters that we have down there right now, it's young, it's energetic, it's vibrant. It's not that we aren't here, but Omaha, we are a hub for travel nursing. We have been for years. Right? It's new to Dallas.
Right.
So the people that are coming into this market, into our industry in Dallas, have a certain amount of energy that we have great recruiters here. The energy of the Dallas office is completely different.
Right.
And I think part of it is youth, maybe.
Right.
So
I think it's youth, but also allowing that to shine, right?
Yep.
I could suppress it with the old man syndrome and, hey, turn off the music or, quiet or, I need to take my nap or whatever the hell I got to do. But you don't. You live through that. You promote that.
Right.
I want it to be energetic.
Mm-hmm.
So it picks me up every day. So there's no other way to do it the way we look at it.
And to be fair, if you've ever worked with this guy, it's never I need to take a nap. It's always turn it up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Turn that up.
Got to.
And that's what we found down there, for sure.
So.
All right, last question. Plans for the future, because we just signed a pretty big lease down there. Yeah. And this guy's in charge of 100% of it. Give me an idea of what we're looking at over the next maybe 2 to 5 years.
Yeah, so, build it, they will come. I think we got lucky with the location and with the price point in which we got this lease. Mm-hmm. What it's going to provide is just going to, with everybody wanting to work from home or the flex schedules or what have you, which we do have, but what I'm tasked with is to make them want to come back to the office, okay? So once we build that, then we're looking to have, 40, 50 recruiters in-house, mm-hmm. and still build from the Connect model as well, where they're more remote or mm-hmm. outlying, per se, within the state of Texas. So we have big plans, and the things that will help us facilitate that is the technology piece that that you and everybody here is starting to incorporate. So mm-hmm. It's exciting. It's exciting, and there's nothing but great things ahead for us.
Awesome. Well, Kurt, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you talking that. I miss seeing you. I miss looking from my desk and seeing you over there. But at the same time, I absolutely trust that you are the right person for the job down there in Dallas. And I can't wait to see.
Thank
You
you,
guys
sir.
have done fantastic work so far. The next couple of years, growth is going to come from you and that team down there.
Awesome.
So, which brings me to just my opinion. This has nothing to do with Dallas. This has nothing to do with Kurt. It has nothing to do with anything outside of that. It's just it's something that came up recently that I noticed when I started 4 years ago. When I started looking for people to stand behind the camera to do this kind of thing for me. I went back and I love history and I love reading about how companies grew and evolved. And there was a story about when Steve Jobs was head of the Macintosh team at Apple in the 80s, and he wanted to make the Macintosh different than every other computer that had been released up to that point. And he hung a pirate flag in their office, and he said he told his team, he goes, listen, we're going down. There's a path right now for computers, and this was in the 80s, so it was super early. There's a path right now where you could be in the Navy or you could be a pirate. And he goes, I'd much rather be a pirate than join the Navy. And early days of Atlas, I really believed, and I still believe that too, to a certain extent, that I would rather be a pirate than join the Navy. But as I worked through some of this stuff, I realized, wait a minute, there's negative connotation to that. And there's negative connotation to being the pirate and not maybe looking at the industry as a whole and understanding kind of where things are going and where your place is in that industry. So 4 years ago, I bought a pirate flag and I hung it in our very first production room. And so when Dolan joined us, he saw that there, and he's always kind of known it. It still hangs in our production room right now. And it's just kind of reminded me every day, like, we are doing something completely different. And it was never meant to be in a dig on the industry. It was never meant to denigrate other companies out there, because I absolutely didn't want that whatsoever. And recently there have been instances where a pirate flag may have been used to do that exact thing, to denigrate others in the industry, to maybe to put a black eye on maybe where the industry stands and where most companies stand. Companies that quite honestly travelers love. Outside of us, there are a number of companies out there that are fantastic that travelers love. And it's been used to maybe put a black eye on that. And so I think it still hangs right now. I think Dolan just showed it. It still hangs in our production room right now. And I'm going to take it down. I'm going to retire it. And I'll tell you why. It was never, ever meant to be disrespectful or negative. It was always meant to be that it was always there to remind me that we were different and we were trying to do something different. And over a couple of weeks ago, like we had talked about when Steve Seitner was here, we were at SIA, and it talked to a number of companies, and they said, look, we look to you, us, when it comes to video production and online content. And 4 years ago, nobody was doing anything at all. And it was something that I really, really wanted to do, and we rallied behind that pirate flag. And I now realize, like, as I talk to them, and they've told us, we're the industry standard. We're the ones that everyone looks to, and then they copy us. And there are quite a few out there that are doing better stuff than us. And I've talked to the guys from Lead Healthcare. Those guys are fantastic, and they are kicking our ass in a number of places. And I told them that there. And we laugh and we have beers or whatever. Deep down inside, they know they're beating me, and I know they're beating me, and I just want to get better. And I think that's on the flight back, as I was kind of reflecting on all of this, it was, how do I get better? And it's letting go of some of that and embracing who we are and embracing the position that we've established for ourselves and taking that to the next level. You don't have to be the pirate. You don't have to be negative. You don't have to make fun of or denigrate other companies in order to put yourself ahead. You will never ever get ahead doing that. So I'm retiring the pirate flag. It makes me sad that it's coming down, but it's going to come down, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I We'll have a little Viking funeral for it or something. I don't know. So
That's
there you
good.
go.
Good for you, bud.
Just my opinion. But Kurt, thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me, bud.
I can't wait to see what happens in Dallas. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to come back to Dallas, quite honestly. So
Come on down.
good
Come on
food,
down.
good beers. Like Dallas is a fun place,
Yes.
and we are super lucky to have you there, and we're super lucky to have an office there.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.